Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So as you can tell by the title of this video, today I'm going to be filming this makeup look that I'm wearing right now. Obviously, as you can see, it's very dramatic, like a full cut crease with a lot of glitter. So yeah, this is definitely more of a sort of evening, night out type of look, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I really like it, and I hope you guys do too. If you do want to see how I created this look, then just keep watching. Right, so for this tutorial I'm going to be using the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to go straight in with the matte brown that's just there, and I'm going to take that on the Morphe. The name of this brush is rubbed off, I'll leave it in the description box below, but I'm just going to literally take this shade on a fluffy brush and I'm just going to put that straight in the crease of the eye. And I'm going to be kind of taking it all the way in to the inner corner and then just sweeping it out at the end so that it goes off into a little bit of a flick. Right, so now we've got our transition shade on. I'm going to go in with this matte red shade here, which is obviously a little bit darker, and I'm going to take that on a MAC 217, which is a smaller brush. So this is just going to be applied just a little bit lower than what we applied that brown shade, and I'm just literally going to be taking that in the crease in the exact same way, just sweeping it out when I get to the end. I'm like super obsessed with cut creases at the moment. I don't know if you've noticed, like literally I can't stop doing cut crease looks. So now that colour has been placed down, I'm going to go back in with the first brush that we used to apply the matte brown, and I'm just going to blend the top so that they're all blended together. I'm not going to worry about anything on my lid because we're going to be cutting that out with concealer anyway, so I'm literally just worrying about the top of the eyeshadow. Right, now on my other eye I really wanted a deeper red, but there isn't actually one in the Morphe palette, so I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs Scandalous palette, and this one has a really nice deep red at the end, so I'm going to take that on a small domed pencil brush, and I'm just literally going to draw that in the crease even lower than that other red that we've just put in. So I'm literally just giving the crease of my eye a lot of depth with a lot of different coloured eyeshadows. You could literally do this with any colours you want, like you don't have to be going down the red sort of route, like you could literally just use any colours, but I think red works really nice because obviously my hair and everything like that. And if you're doing eye looks that are more dramatic like this one, then I would recommend that you do your eyes before you apply your foundation, because you will probably end up getting a little bit of fallout, so it's just easier if you do your eyes before you do your foundation. Now I'm just going to take that first brush again and then just do more blending. This look is literally just all about the blending, so just make sure you get yourself a good fluffy brush and just make sure you blend really well. Now I'm just going to take a clean fluffy brush and I'm just literally going to go over the whole thing just to make sure it's all blended. Right, and now I'm going to go in with this tiny little fluffy brush. This doesn't have, oh, this is a Coastal Scents brush, so I'm pretty sure I got this in a set. And I'm literally just going to take the matte brown, the matte black that's in the Morphe palette, and I'm literally just going to take a tiny little bit of this on the point of the brush. I'm just going to draw that in my crease area. So this is really just going to darken it up and just make sure that when you cut the crease, you've got a really nice dark line. So I'm just taking that black a little bit above where my natural crease is, because when I cut the crease I want to be able to actually see that darkness. Otherwise we're going to end up just covering it with concealer in a sec. Now once that line is on, I'm just going to take the MAC 217 again and I'm just going to blend this all through. Just dipped a little bit back into that first red shade. I'm just going to go straight over the black just to blend it a little bit easier. This sort of eyeshadow does take a lot of patience, so it's not something that you can do like really quickly, but it does look really effective once it's done. So if you have got the time, I really think it's worth it. Now I'm just going back in with that first brush, the Morphe one, just making sure everything is really blended together. Right, so now I'm going to cut my crease. So for that I'm going to be using the Lancome concealer. This is quite a thick, creamy concealer, so it is quite good for cutting the crease, and you really don't need a lot of this one. I would really recommend this concealer for cutting the crease, because if you use a concealer that's too thin and not enough coverage, then it's not going to give you that nice sharp look. You want to use a concealer that's quite full coverage. I'm going to be taking that on just a flat brush. This one I just got off of eBay. It was super cheap. I wouldn't recommend spending a lot of money on literally a brush that's just flat. I'm using a palette because I don't want to get product all over my hands, but I'm just making sure that the brush is completely coated in concealer, but it's all completely flat and there's no sort of lumps of concealer. You don't want to overload the brush, you just want to make sure it's covered, but it's completely sort of flat. When I get to about halfway, I'm just going to pack the brush with concealer again, just so I've got enough product to finish the last part of the eye. So with this part, I'm not going to be able to talk while I do it, but I'm literally just going to take that line and flick it out. As you can see on this eye, it sort of goes up. And then if you are going to do one eye and then the other, just make sure that you get them as symmetrical as you can. So I would recommend having the mirror straight in front of you and keep looking back at the other eye, just to check that they're symmetrical, because that will make or break the look. Right, so now I'm going to take my MAC 242, and this is just kind of a flat, fluffier brush, and I'm just literally going to press the concealer into my eyes so that it's all nice and blended out. Now I'm just going to take this really pointy pencil brush. This is a Morphe M431, and I'm just going to kind of run that along the edge on the eyeshadow part, just to make sure all of the concealer is nice and sharp. Now looking dead on in the mirror, I have taken this one a little bit higher than this one. Like, as you can see, there's more eyelid sort of cut out than this one, but to be honest, I don't really think it's that noticeable, so I'm going to forgive myself. Right, so now for the glitter part, I'm going to be using glitter glue, because otherwise this glitter is just going to go all over your face. So this is the Sprinkles glue from Beauty Bakery. This is the only glitter glue I've ever used, but it's actually really good, so I definitely recommend it. And I'm literally just going to take that straight from the brush, and I'm going to apply that to the whole cut crease. Glitter that I'm going to be using is actually from the Body Shop. I've had this for years, like literally like 5 or 6 years, so it's probably not going to be available anymore, but it's like a white glitter. So I'll try and link some glitter down below that I can find that's white. I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on my palette, and I'm going to take that MAC brush again that we used to pat in the concealer. Just going to take a little bit on the brush and just pat that straight on top of where we put the glitter glue. I'm just going to pop a little bit more of the glitter glue on the sort of end of my eye, because this bit seems to have dried a little bit. Right, so I've just off camera sorted out both of my eyes, because this one did come down a little bit lower than this one. So I've just taken the crease of this one a little bit higher and sorted that out so they look more symmetrical. I did kick over my tripod in doing that. So if the screen or the video looks in a slightly different position, that is because my tripod was just on the floor. So sorry about that. Right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is literally just clean up underneath my eyes, because obviously we've been using glitter, so a little bit has dropped down. And I'm just going to take that right under my eye as well and sort of create a little bit of a wing with the concealer and glitter. Right, so now I'm just going to pop some magic cream on. This is obviously just to hydrate my face before I put foundation on. Right, now I'm just going to go in with foundation. I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Superstay 24 Hour, which is my all-time favourite foundation. This one is a little bit too dark for me. This is 30 Sand, but I'm going to make it work because I want to look a little bit more tanned for this look. I'm just going to take that straight onto my beauty blender. Now I'm just going to go in with more of the same L'Oreal concealer that we used to cut the crease. This concealer is like super high coverage, like probably the most full coverage concealer that I've ever used. So if you're looking for a new full coverage concealer, then this one is really good. It looks really nice for more like dramatic makeup looks because it just makes your under eyes and everything look so flawless. Now I'm just going to set that with the RCMA No Colour Powder. I'm just going to bake that for literally a few seconds just because it is quite a thick concealer, so I don't want it creasing underneath the eyes. Now I'm going to move straight onto bronzer. I'm going to be using the Hourglass cream. This is the Sheer Colour Trio, and I'm going to be using the cream bronzer in here on a flat stippling brush. I'm just going to be using that to bronze up the skin. I really love this bronzer. It blends like a dream. Just going to take a little bit down the sides of my nose as well, just to contour very lightly. Don't usually contour my nose, but I'm just going to take a little bit of that bronzer there. I'm just going to flick off that excess powder that we used to bake. Now I'm just going to take some of the Hoola bronzer. I'm just going to use that to set very lightly over the top of the cream bronzer that we just done, and I'm going to take that on a Real Techniques multitasking brush. This is so much better if you just pat this over the top. If you start to swipe, then it's just going to move everything underneath. I'm just going to pat this on the top. Just take a little bit of that bronzer down the neck as well, because obviously my foundation does not match my skin very well. Right, I'm just going to really quickly finish up under my eyes. I'm going to be taking that really sort of pointy brush that we used earlier, and I'm just going to be taking some of that first matte red that we used, and I'm just going to literally run this along the bottom lash line quite close. I'm not really going to drag this down too far because I want all of the focus to be on the top of the eye, but I just think we need something down there just to sort of tie it all together. Right, now I'm just going to do some blush. I'm just going to be taking my Nip and Fab little blush palette, and I'm going to be using the top one. I'm just going to use it on the same Real Techniques brush. Just pop that, a tiny bit of blush on the apples of my cheeks, nothing too crazy. Now for highlight, I'm going to be taking the Balm Mary Lou Luminizer highlighter. This is like a proper old one, an old favourite for me. I haven't used this for ages, but it's actually really good. And obviously just going to be taking that on the tops of the cheeks and a little bit on the brow bone as well. I think this highlighter goes really well with the eye look because obviously we've got the white glitter, and this is quite a white champagne highlighter. The one that I usually use is the Estee Lauder one, and it's a little bit more yellow and golden, whereas I think this one will go better with the look that we're going for today. Right, now I'm going to move straight onto brows, and I'm going to be using the Eyelure by Fleur de Force brow palette. This is in the shade Dark. I'm just going to be using that on H&M double-ended eyebrow brush. I'm just going to go through with some clear brow gel. This is the NYX Control Freak. I'm just going to brush through my eyebrow hairs so they look nice and natural and flick them up. Right, at this point I'm going to spray over some of the Mario facial spray. This is the aloe vera one, just because I want everything to sort of like mesh together really nicely. My face is looking a little bit cakey, a little bit powdery, so I'm just going to spray over some of this to just sort of set everything together. This will just help to sort of rehydrate your skin, so if your skin ever feels a little bit cakey or looks a little bit dry halfway through you finishing your makeup, then just use a little facial spray and it should just reset everything down again. Now I'm just going to use a lip gloss. This is the Buxom Mudslide shade. Right, now I'm just going to apply mascara and false lashes off camera and I'll be back in a second. Right, so I'm back. I've just popped some lashes on, a little bit of mascara, and I've also popped some inner corner highlight as well. The lashes are from eBay. I don't really know the brand, but if I can find them, I'll try and link them in the description box below. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this makeup tutorial and like the way it came out. I actually really like it. I think it definitely looks a little bit draggy, like a tiny little bit draggy, but I think with like a really nice dress on a night out, it would look amazing. So I really hope you guys liked it. If you did, then please give the video a like and also subscribe to my channel. That would be amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!